severed somewhere. So we experience pain. And pain, when handled properly, produces grief. Grief is the emotion that sustains the pain. And if we go into mourning, mourning is the process that sustains the grief and moves us closer toward healing. So grief becomes negative when it's handled in isolation. It becomes negative when it's not handled properly. We don't allow someone to come in and help us through the grief, through the pain, through the loss. We develop this stones in our heart, stony walls. I'm not going to let this happen to me again. I developed an attitude, a defense mechanism, and to the point where I started attacking people. I didn't handle grief properly. I thought I was doing the right thing by throwing it away. Fragment that I don't need. Move on. So God uses pain to help us grow into maturity. There is nothing that is wasteful in your life. When Jesus Christ was feeding the multitudes, he said, gather the fragments, and let nothing go to waste. There are fragments of experience in our life that the Lord will not let go to waste. That he wants to use to mature us, to bring us closer to his image. We are complete in him. But we carry down the road, we keep driving down the road, we keep tossing out the experiences out the window without even bothering to look out the rearview mirror. And God is constantly calling us. So God uses our pain to help us mature, to help us grow, to help perfect us in what we need to be. But what the devil meant for evil, God meant for good. We come to the story of Joseph when he gets tossed into the pit. His own brothers sold him out. He gets tossed into the pit, and I can imagine there he's sitting there just pondering what's going on. Those are my brothers up there. And they're not helping me. He finally gets sold as a slave, and they take him to the market, they take him to Egypt, and they finally buy him, and he gets placed in the palace, and suddenly he gets accused of doing something wrong that he never did. And he gets thrown in jail. The guy's like, what did I do? My brother sold me. I get thrown in jail for something that I never did. What am I doing wrong? He's constantly crying out. He's crying out to God. I could just see him in jail, see him in the prison. He was there with two people, and they're finally gone. He's there all alone. So they finally tell him that from the last person that left, the Pharaoh starts having a dream. He can't interpret the dream. So up there, they tell him that I remember there's a man that can interpret dreams in the cell that I was in with. So they call Joseph, and Joseph comes and he interprets the dream for Pharaoh, and he makes him governor of all people. I was in jail, and he became the governor. And his brothers come to Egypt for food, and he notices it. And we know the story. They reunite, and they're one big happy family. But the devil meant to kill Joseph. The devil meant to destroy Joseph. The devil wanted to beat this guy up. See, but God used him. But the devil meant for evil, God meant for good. because his people were sustained, his people survived. You come to the story of Job. Job was a wealthy man. Job had all kinds of possessions. He was constantly praying to God. He had kids. He was praying for his kids. And up in heaven, meanwhile, up in heaven, all the hosts, all the angels come before the Lord, and the devil comes before God. He comes just strolling in, and God said, "Hey, what are you doing here? What have you been doing?" "I've just been walking around the earth, just checking it out." It's not a coincidence. God didn't just pick out Job out of random, like, "Oh, well, I'll tell about Job." You can speak Job. See, I believe God had a plan for Job. See, God is smarter than the devil. God is transcendent. We don't think like he does. He thinks above what we think. God is wise. So he brought up Job. Have you considered Job? Have you seen Job? Did you notice Job? He said, "Yeah, I noticed him. But I bet you, but he's praising you because he has everything that he wants. He has possessions, he has wealth, he has kids, he has a family. You got this hedge of protection around him. Of course he's going to praise you. But if you take something away from him, I can assure you that he's going to curse you." And do we really think that God went around with this game like, "Okay, we'll check, we'll see. All right, we'll see. All right, okay, you're on." No, see, God had a plan. I believe God had a plan for Job. He said, "Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, just don't touch him." See, the devil thought, "Oh yeah, I got it. See, I'm going to show God that he's going to curse God. I'm going to take the stuff away from him. I'm going to cause disease to come upon me. He's going to curse God." And the whole time God is like, "Yeah, go ahead. I got a plan for Job. You just don't know about it. So I'm going to use you in my plan." So what the devil means for evil, the devil means to destroy. He doesn't know what God has on his mind. He just thinks he's going along, that God is going along with his game. But God has a greater plan. What the devil means for evil, God means for good. And Job sustained so much grief. He forced quiet for a while, and he sustained so much grief that his friends were there. I mean, to the point where his friends were like telling him, "You must have done something wrong, man. Just confess it already." And Job developed a self-righteous spirit, like, "Why me? What did I do wrong? Why did all this pain and grief come upon me?" And that's where God came and said, "You know what? So do you understand my ways? Surely you do. Let me ask you some questions and you better answer. Now stand up, little boy." And God questioned him. Were you there when I told the seas they can only come so far? Surely you were there, right? No, I was there. So God made him understand that I'm a sovereign God. And my plan is perfect. My plan is full of wisdom. You don't question what I do. And Job, humbled. It's awesome. And the Bible says that blessed are those that are pure at heart, for they shall see God. And Job, after God had rebuked him, said, "You know what, God, I'm sorry I didn't understand your ways, but at first my ears have only heard you, but now my eyes see you. Now I understand your ways." And we're pure, he was purified. He was made pure through his situation. What the devil means for evil, God means for good. And some people learn and grow while others only get worse. So the real problem is the open wound. The open wound. We develop a stony heart to protect from further affliction. We don't want anybody else doing what they did to us before. So therefore we accumulate unforgiveness and we accumulate bitterness in our hearts. And we keep driving down the road that way, experiencing more encounters, losing more friends, loss of a marriage, loss of family, and we keep piling down the road. We cannot progress at this state. We cannot, no matter what we do, we'll drive ourselves crazy. We cannot progress to the next level at this state. It may seem we have it all together. I'm financially stable. I have a good job. I got a good position in church. What could possibly be wrong with me? The Bible says that chance happens to everyone. Maybe we're just caught up in the busyness of life itself that we don't stop to consider that there may be something wrong. We cannot progress. So it seems like that life is at a standstill. So you come to a point in the road where you say, what have I done so far? Where have I gone? I've been down the road this far. Where are you now? You've come down the road this far. Where you're here today? Have you taken a chance to look back at your life? Are there any fragments that need to be placed in your life in the proper place? I remember this one. This is where I was in 8th grade, and I was the only one that wasn't going to graduate from my 8th grade class. Now, the last week, I didn't pass my proficiency test, my math proficiency test. So all you new life kids already know why I'm not good at math. Yeah, we're not going to ask you that to happen. I figured, thank you. So I couldn't pass my math, and my 8th grade teacher, I'm going to say his name, Mr. Tissot. You guys know Mr. Tissot? Some of you know Mr. Tissot. Those of you who grew up in Planet, he came to me after school and said, you know what? You know, if you don't pass your test, you're not going to graduate. And I said, yeah, I'm fully aware of that. He said, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to work hard. You're going to stay with me after school till we make sure that you pass this test. Okay. So after school, we worked hard after school. An hour after school, he was drilling me with division. And I mean, it was a hard stuff. You ever been like division, hard stuff? Yes. I couldn't stand that. I had to look there. I just didn't want to do work. This is not what I do, man. There's better things going on. I got darts to throw at girls while I'm in class. So we worked hard, and I was there. He held me accountable. During lunch, we worked during lunch. He drilled me after school for a whole week till the last day of school. He said, we're going to work today because tomorrow morning you're going to take the test. I was full of anxiety, man. Like, if I don't graduate, what's going to become of me? So it came time to take the test. I took the test. I'm trying to remember everything, and I'm thinking like, oh man, I think I missed this one. I'm trying to think, and my mind starts to go somewhere else. I look at the clock and says, Alfredo, going back to work. He was constantly watching me, and I finished the test, and I handed it to him. And he starts scoring it right there, right in front of me. He's got the red pen. Like, you're gonna do it right there? Where do you want me to go? He's got the pen out there, and it seemed like every time he made a mark, he has glasses on, he would do this thing like, The suspense was making me sick. He finally finishes grading it. He took off his glasses. He puts his pen down. He looks at me. He hands me the test. I look at it. And at first it looked like it was 38. I'm like, 83? I got an 83 in math. That's the first B I had in forever. That's the first B I had ever. I never had a B. It was always C's and D's, and I got a B. So I'm prancing home like a gazelle, you know, like, I'm a B. You know, so this is an experience here that this is experiences that you keep, right? You keep these. You know, I got a B. I think I still have it framed somewhere in my mom's house. But these are the experiences that we keep, right? When we come so far down the road, and the bad experiences, we choose to suppress the effects. We come to a point where we crash. And this is the moment where we start to consider everything. What's going on in my life? Where did I go wrong? What did I do to deserve this? It's a pivotal moment. It's a defining moment. That's where your life is transitioning. And if we don't get it right, we don't transition to the next level. It's where God is trying to say, hey. You need rest. You need rest. You've been trailing down this road for so long. Stop and rest. Come to me. I'm trying to figure it out on your own. Come to me. You don't know which way to go? Come to me. Jesus says, I give you rest.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
When he told them back then, to the Jews back then, they were tired of the ceremonial law, the traditions. They were so tired that Jesus was saying, you need to get rest. Come to me. My yoke is easy. The yoke was hard to try and follow tradition, to try and follow the laws. It was tough. So Jesus says, all you have to do is come to me. And I will give you rest for your soul, your wounded heart, your fighting spirit. Come and get rest. If you're sick of your sins, weary of the service of the world, you see your state as sad and dangerous. He offers rest. He wants you to stop. Consider everything. Fragments scattered all over the place. You need this. But this moment caused so much pain, but you need it. You're incomplete. You're sick of pain. You have fear. Fear in your life. Fear of what? Fear of losing. My biggest fear was losing my family. So I would fight. My fighting spirit would come out and protect my family, and I became overprotective. I was like, God, Frado, we just went to the store. Jesus Christ said, I came to heal the brokenhearted. If you experience the loss of the past, and you've had haven't had the grief, if you didn't deal with the grief before Mindy, you need to come back. God is saying, I want to bring you back. I want to put it back, and I'm going to put it right here. Okay? I'm going to put it right there. Because you need healing from this. You need to be made whole. He gives liberty to those who are oppressed. The world will beat you up. You get beat up at work. The vultures and thieves are constantly on your back. He gave sight to the blind. If you need guidance, if you need direction, if you need some insight, if you need vision in your life, the Lord is offering healing. Fear of pain inhibits us from being vulnerable to others. So we don't want to experience any more pain. You know what, Frado? I want to keep driving down the road because I don't want to be vulnerable. If I open up these wounds, if I open up, take the scab off, if I take that stony wall off, then somehow, someone's just going to come right in and hurt this like in the past. So I want to keep that stony wall there. God makes an opportunity to stop and pick up the fragments. And God is calling us to say, you know what? I'm here. You live your life constantly like a man or a woman against the world. Nobody ever took your side. You were tossed through the sand. Even to the point in life where everybody liked you. I mean, you always delivered. You were in a position where you always came through. You were always successful. And the minute you failed, they dragged you to the mud. You're only human. But you still journey on. You still fight on. I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to keep fighting. Like a man against the world. We never realize that we're living a defeated life. If we didn't allow those wounds to get healed. There's a price of being a superhero. There's the unseen challenge of being a superhero. It's not all it's cracked up to be. See, you have Superman, the journey from Krypton to the Metropolis. I know he's fictional, but the guy had the daunting task of saving the world on his shoulders. Now, this is a man that didn't have time to bleed. He couldn't show his vulnerability as a man of steel. Can you imagine waking up in the morning and knowing that there's a bridge that's about to fall down? I got to put on my cape. Imagine waking up, you can't drink your coffee or you can't eat your breakfast. So you got to go because there's people on the bridge you got to save. So it's in San Francisco, so you got to take your super flight or flight speed over there. So you put the cape on and you got to go up. There's a bridge I got to get to. You know, and you go through here and you go all the way and you get there in 5 minutes and the bridge is about to collapse and all of a sudden you feel people calling you and it's like, I got time to leave. I got a bridge to take care of. And you get to the front of the bridge and all of a sudden you pick it up and you got the heat vision thing and you rub it together. There's a task on that. I got to fix this bridge. I got to save people's lives. And what do you get afterwards? How to bullet Superman? You knew you could do it. People can't watch you cry if you're Superman. Superman couldn't cry. He had a human side to him. He had Clark Kent. But they couldn't know that Clark Kent and Superman were the same person. Clark Kent was imagine if they knew that Superman was doofus? Can I say doofus? I don't know. Can I say doofus?
Too late.
Sometimes I'm like Pastor Joe, I look at Sister Margaret for agreement. Sister Margaret told you yes or no. So you got a daunting task on hand. You're Superman. You can't stop and cry over spilled milk. You can't stop and cry over the things of the past. Superman had daddy issues. He never really got to know his real dad. So he was forcefully adopted into this earthly dad that kind of showed him the way. You ever wonder, stop and think if Superman ever really, if he really did like saving people? I mean, maybe he didn't even like that vision. Maybe flying was a burden for him. And that's a picture of you and me. There's someone that we have to be. We can't stop. We cry. We're fathers. We're mothers. We're employers. We're leaders. We're ministers. We can't show our vulnerability. There's a task on hand. There's a world that needs to be saved. The real Superman came to earth 2,000 years ago. That had the task of saving the world on his shoulders. And even he stopped and cried. Even he stopped to show his vulnerability. It was up to him. And he came to the Gethsemane, the Garden of Gethsemane, where he told his disciples, I'm going to go pray, but James, Peter, and John, you guys come with me. He said, can you pray? Can you stay here with me? Because I am in deep agony right now. He said, I am in so much distress. And I need you to stay here with me. I'm going to go a little further, but you stay here and watch me. The Bible says that he was in so much distress that his sweat dropped as drops of blood. And an angel came and strengthened him. So if you come to a point where you're at choices, you're at options. You come to a point where you're just by yourself, you're in solitude, and it's just you and God, and you hear the still small voice coming out and asking you the question, will thou be made whole? Will you let me take these pieces here, these broken pieces? Will you let me bring them? Will you be made whole? Or do you need to continue on the road? Like if you're some kind of Superman. Will you stop for a moment? Take a look at your life. It happened in Bethesda, where there is a pool surrounded by 5 covered porches. This was a place of elegance, a place of luxury, beautiful spot. But the people that were there were people who were lame, people who were sick, people that were full of disease, people that were paralyzed, people that were deemed as sometimes unclean. And there was a man there that Jesus Christ had noticed had been sick for 38 years. Jesus Christ Christ and knows how long you've been driving down that road. And how long we've been holding the pieces of the fragments that we try to throw away. How long we've been without healing. And he asked the man, he said, will you be made whole? And the man responded, there's no one to put me in the pool, because it was said that an angel came down and touched the waters and disturbed the waters. And as soon as it happened, people would jump into the pool to get healing. And the man said, there's no one to pick me up. Every time I try and get up, somebody gets up before me to get the pool, so I've been here for a while. And Jesus said, look at him, rise, take up your mat and walk. He arose. He picked up his mat and he walked. And I've always wondered, what about this man? Why not everybody else? What is it about this man? He's been sick 38 years and he picked this man, this invalid, so to speak. I'm just about to conclude. This is down here, so what is it about him? And the picture is really about you and me. The picture is really you and I. Because this place is Bethesda, but a lot of the time it's maybe Bethesda is actually maybe Marseille, the local hospital. The nursing home. When people just walk by those that are wounded, the homeless, we tend to just walk by and not think twice. But I wonder if Jesus did that. No, Jesus stopped because he cared. And that's a picture